Most people think an oil change is just an oil change. You drive to a shop. They drain the old oil. They pour in new oil. They replace the filter. You pay them money. You leave. But that's not how Japanese mechanics do it. And that's why Japanese cars last 500,000 miles, while American cars are done at 200,000. There's a specific methodology, a precise technique, a philosophy behind how and when you change your oil that goes way deeper than most people realize. And if you learn this secret and apply it to your Lexus, I'm telling you right now, you'll add 200,000 miles to your engine's life. I've been studying Japanese automotive maintenance for over a decade. I've interviewed mechanics in Tokyo, Osaka, and rural Japan. I've worked on cars with 400,000 miles that still run like they just rolled off the assembly line. And the biggest difference between those cars and failed American cars? The oil change strategy. Today, I'm going to reveal the exact Japanese oil change secret that separates engines that last forever from engines that fail at 150,000 miles. This isn't about buying expensive synthetic oil. This isn't about using special additives. This is about a completely different approach to how, when, and why you change your oil. Stick around, because the most important part of this secret is something that 99% of Lexus owners get wrong, and it's costing them their engines. Let's get into it. The philosophy: oil doesn't fail, it just gets tired. First, you need to understand how Japanese mechanics think about engine oil. In America, we think oil gets dirty. When it gets dirty, you change it. In Japan, they think oil gets tired. It loses its ability to protect. You change it before it gets too tired. This is a fundamental difference in mindset. American oil change intervals are designed around how dirty the oil looks. You can see the color, so you think the oil is fine or dirty. Japanese oil change intervals are designed around how tired the oil is, based on time and miles, regardless of how clean it looks. Here's the truth that Japanese mechanics understand. Oil can look clean and still be failing. You can't see oxidation. You can't see viscosity breakdown. You can't see the depletion of additives. But all of that is happening invisibly while your oil sits in your engine. So Japanese mechanics don't wait for the oil to look dirty. They change it on a strict schedule based on time and mileage, not on appearance. This simple philosophy is the foundation of everything else. Secret 1. The 5,000-mile rule. Never break it. Japanese mechanics have a sacred rule: never exceed 5,000 miles between oil changes. Never. I've talked to mechanics in Japan who have 40 years of experience, and they all say the same thing: 5,000 miles maximum, period. Now, your Lexus manual might say 10,000 miles. Toyota/Lexus officially recommends that for new cars with synthetic oil, but Japanese mechanics laugh at that. They say, that's for perfect conditions. Nobody drives in perfect conditions. And they're right. Most people do short trips, stop-and-go traffic, cold starts, city driving. All of these make oil break down faster than highway cruising. In these conditions, your oil is aged and tired long before 10,000 miles. Here's what happens to your oil between changes at different intervals. At 5,000 miles, oil is still performing well, additives are still active, viscosity is stable. At 7,500 miles, oil is noticeably tired. Additives are depleted by 30%. You're starting to see viscosity break down. At 10,000 miles, oil is exhausted. Additives are mostly gone. Viscosity has broken down significantly. Sludge is beginning to form. Japanese mechanics understand this, so they never push past 5,000 miles. And here's the key: they stick to this religiously, whether the oil looks dirty or clean. Secret 2. You must change the filter every time. This is where most American shops cut corners, and Japanese shops never do. Here's the rule in Japan: you never reuse an old filter. Every single oil change, you get a new filter, full stop. The reason is simple: your oil filter isn't just a filter. It's a critical component of your engine's life support system. A used filter is a dirty filter, and a dirty filter does two things. First, it restricts oil flow. Clean oil moving through a dirty filter is like drinking clean water through a dirty straw. Some of the good oil can't get where it needs to go. Second, it releases trapped contaminants back into the oil. A clogged filter holds onto dirt, metal particles, and sludge. When you pour fresh oil through that dirty filter, some of that trapped garbage gets released back into your engine. American quick lube shops sometimes reuse filters to save money. Sometimes they claim to replace it, but actually don't. Japanese shops never do this. And here's another secret. They always use OEM or high-quality filters, never cheap aftermarket filters. A cheap filter might cost $3. An OEM Lexus filter costs $12, but that cheap filter will trap fewer contaminants and allow more garbage into your engine. Over 500,000 miles, that difference compounds massively. Secret 3. The warm-up period before draining. Here's a technique that most shops skip, but Japanese mechanics never do. When you bring your Lexus in for an oil change, the first thing a Japanese mechanic does is start the engine and let it idle for 10 minutes before draining the oil. Why? Because warm oil drains completely. Cold oil doesn't. When your oil is cold, it's thick and viscous. It clings to surfaces inside your engine. When you drain cold oil, you leave behind old oxidized oil residue that contaminates your fresh oil. But when your oil is warm, it flows freely. It drains completely. You remove almost all of the old oil, leaving minimal residue. This is why you should always drive your car before an oil change or let the mechanic warm it up first. Don't go straight from cold start to the shop and have them drain it immediately. That's leaving behind old oil that'll contaminate your new oil. Secret 4. The proper drain sequence. Japanese mechanics have a specific sequence for draining and refilling that most shops ignore. Here's how they do it. Step 1. Warm the oil by idling the engine for 10 minutes. Step 2. Drain the oil completely. They'll let it sit for several minutes to make sure every last drop drains out. Step 3. Replace the drain plug if it shows any wear. A worn drain plug wastes oil and costs you engine protection. Step 4. Install a new filter and hand tighten it, not with a wrench, just by hand. Over-tightening a filter can cause it to leak or fail. Step 5. Pour in the correct amount of fresh oil. Not too much, not too little. Exactly what the manual specifies. Step 6. Start the engine and let it idle for 30 seconds to circulate the new oil. Step 7. Turn off the engine and wait 5 minutes for the oil to settle. Step 8. Check the dipstick and adjust if needed. This entire sequence ensures maximum oil change effectiveness. Most quick lube shops skip steps 3, 6, and 7. That's where the quality difference comes from. If you made it this far, then consider liking this video, giving it a thumbs up, and subscribing to my channel. This helps me bring you more honest car advice. And if you want the complete Japanese maintenance philosophy for oil changes and everything else that keeps a Lexus running to 500,000 miles, click the link in the description to grab my 500,000-mile car maintenance blueprint. It covers every detail of proper maintenance using Japanese precision methods. Secret 5. The oil type matters more than you think. Japanese mechanics are very specific about oil type, and they never deviate from specifications. Your Lexus manual specifies an exact oil viscosity, 0W20, 5W30, or whatever it says. That's not a suggestion, that's a requirement. Using a different viscosity, even if it seems thicker or better, damages your engine. Thicker oil doesn't flow as well in modern tight tolerance engines. That means components don't get lubricated properly. That causes wear. Here's what Japanese mechanics do. They use the exact oil specified in the manual. They use synthetic if the manual calls for synthetic, never conventional as a substitute. They never use universal or compatible oils. They use OEM or equivalent oils that meet the exact specifications. And they stick with reputable brands, Mobil 1, Castrol, Shell, or Toyota OEM. They understand that your engine was designed and tested with specific oil. Using something else is experimenting on your engine. Secret 6. Temperature considerations. Japanese mechanics account for local climate when changing oil. In winter, you might use a different viscosity than in summer. For example, if you live in a cold climate, you might use 0W20 in winter for better cold start protection and switch to 5W30 in summer for better high temperature protection. But here's the thing, you only do this if your manual specifically allows it. If your manual says 0W20 year-round, then you use 0W20 year-round. Japanese mechanics understand their local climate and adjust accordingly, but they never deviate from what the manual allows. This is especially important in northern Japan, where winters are brutal. Mechanics there understand viscosity changes better than most. Secret 7. The post-change drive cycle. After an oil change, Japanese mechanics don't just hand you your keys and send you on your way. They do a specific post-change drive cycle. Here's how it works. Drive for 10 to 15 minutes at moderate speeds, 40 to 50 miles per hour. Don't drive hard. Don't accelerate aggressively. Just cruise gently. This allows the new oil to circulate throughout your engine, fill all the passages, and reach operating temperature. After this drive, the oil has settled into all the nooks and crannies of your engine, and you get a more accurate dipstick reading. This is why some Japanese shops ask you to come back 30 minutes after your oil change to verify the level is correct. They want that initial circulation to happen first. Secret 8. Oil analysis, the ultimate check. Here's an advanced secret that only serious Japanese enthusiasts use, but it's incredibly revealing. Every 50,000 miles, they send a sample of their used oil to a lab for analysis. The lab tests for metal particles, indicates engine wear, viscosity breakdown, oxidation levels, coolant contamination, fuel dilution. This tells you exactly how your engine is doing and whether your oil change interval is appropriate. If metal particle levels are rising, your engine is wearing faster than normal. If viscosity is breaking down too quickly, your oil change interval needs to be shorter. Japanese enthusiasts use this data to optimize their maintenance schedule. Most shops and owners don't do this because it costs $30 to $50 per analysis, but serious long-distance drivers swear by it. The complete Japanese oil change protocol. So let's put it all together. Here's the exact Japanese protocol for an oil change. Drive your car or let it warm up to operating temperature. Drain the warm oil completely and let it sit for several minutes. Replace the drain plug if worn. Install a new OEM or equivalent filter, hand tightened only. Fill with the exact oil type, viscosity, and amount specified in your manual. Start the engine and let it idle for 30 seconds. Shut off and wait 5 minutes. Check the dipstick and verify the correct level. Take a 10 to 15 minute drive cycle at moderate speeds. Verify the oil level one more time after the drive cycle. Record the date, mileage, oil type, and filter in your maintenance log. Every 50,000 miles, consider an oil analysis to verify engine health. This entire protocol takes more time than a quick lube shop will spend. It costs a bit more than the cheapest service, but it results in an engine that lasts 500,000 miles instead of 200,000. Why this matters for your engine. Here's why this protocol is so important. Your engine has tolerances measured in thousandths of an inch. Piston rings have gaps of 0.002 inches. Bearing clearances are 0.001 inches. At these tiny clearances, cleanliness is everything. Even microscopic particles of old oil residue can cause problems. A worn drain plug that leaks a tiny bit of old oil into your fresh oil contaminates everything. A dirty filter that releases trapped particles ruins the protection of new oil, and using the wrong viscosity creates friction where there should be smooth sliding. Over 500,000 miles, these tiny imperfections compound into massive engine damage. But if you follow the Japanese protocol meticulously, you prevent all of that. The bottom line, Oil changes aren't just oil changes. Look, the American approach to oil changes is drain it, fill it, move on. The Japanese approach is drain it correctly, fill it carefully, verify it properly, and track it religiously. One approach gets you 200,000 miles, the other gets you 500,000. The difference isn't expensive, it's not complicated, it's just precision and discipline. If you want your Lexus to last 500,000 miles, you need to treat every oil change like it matters. Because it does. Use the protocol I've shared. Stick to 5,000-mile intervals. Always replace the filter. Always use the correct oil. Always warm up before draining. Always do a post-change drive cycle. Do this religiously, and your engine will reward you with 500,000 miles of smooth, reliable service. And if you want the complete Japanese maintenance blueprint that covers every aspect of keeping your Lexus running to 500,000 miles, click the link in the description to grab my 500,000-mile car maintenance blueprint. It's the same methodology used by mechanics in Japan who keep taxi cabs and commercial vehicles running for decades. Apply it to your Lexus, and you'll achieve the same results. An engine that's still running strong at 400,000, 450,000, and beyond. If you found these tips helpful, be sure to watch this next video as we're sharing insider tips to help you cut repair costs and keep your car running like new.